Welcome, L127 here. So recently I have been playing an ocean survival game called RAFT, which is developed by RAFT Interactive and is published by Axolot Games, which is available on Steam. So anyways, so we're going to create a new world here. And we're going to be playing on normal difficulty. Alright, so first is that I start with these four tiles, four foundation tiles, and with a plastic hook which can be used to hook things like this. And there are three bars here, which is the source bar, the hunger bar, and the health. And there's some crafting, there's some available crafting recipes. So the first thing is that RAFT in the beginning it's not so easy to get through the beginning state. So the first thing you want to do is to actually settle for some basic infrastructure to be able to satisfy your thirst and then hunger. And we can also get scrap from barrels, which is going to be quite needed for later. So that's a key point as well. Yeah, so we keep collecting resources at the current state. That we're going to try to get the most basic resources available. So the first thing that I want to do is to be able to settle for a basic infrastructure that can help me survive and not like get exhausted due to hunger or thirst. And it appears there's an island in front. I would like to get some resources from islands because that would be greatly appreciated if I can get some island resources. So the first thing is I want to make a paddle, which I will mention how you're actually going to make a rope, which is going to be used for many other resources. But here we start with a paddle. We're going to use this paddle to hold us on this hook onto that island, which I'm going to get some resource from. And it seems that there is an enemy underneath and is about to attack, so the first thing is that we need to make a weapon. So the first thing is that the rope that you can make from 2 palm leaves. And if there are palm leaves in your inventory, or like the ingredients to use to make the ingredients for the item that you wish to craft, then you can also craft it here. Which we have now a spear, which is going to be useful for taking down the shark in case it attacks. And we also hook up some food, which this is the raw beet. And the raw beets, I would like to keep it, or you can also just eat it now, but it doesn't do much of it. It doesn't do much of a beneficial effects consuming right now, considering that it's being eaten raw, that it doesn't give up much compared to that it can be cooked, and it can also be ground in a crop plot, which we will mention later. Though I personally do not like to use crop plots. I would like to pause on this island for now, but I need to absolutely make sure that I can stop on this. And here is the shark which can be repelled by hitting it a few times. It depends on what kind of weapon you have and what kind of weapon you have and what kind of difficulty you're playing on. So in peaceful, which is one of the difficulty, that sharks will not attack your raft. I'm not sure about attacking the player, but probably is also not going to attack the player. So the next thing is that I want to chop some of the trees for some planks. The first thing is that I need some stone, which I do have the ropes, but I need stone, and stone is down there. But there is the shark going around the place, so I need to play a bit around, a bit tricky, because the shark can always get around to attacking me, which can be a little bit risky. But I only need to find a little bit of stone, and I just broke my plastic board, which can also be crafted, but they are relatively slow, which there is going to be an upgrade to this. Anyways, now we have a stone axe, which can be used to break down some part of your raft that is made from a building hammer. That you can extend your raft from using a building hammer. You can also repair the raft using the hammer, which does not cost plastic. Can be low on plastic in the early game. But it isn't going to be that case if you play this game long enough, and it's going to be end up with other resources, not plastic. Plastic is only when you are actually crafting foundations. So I got some food resources, but I would like to get some resources leave before I actually leave. But there is the shark, which I have zero hope to actually not get hit by it. But I would like to get some things, which is going to be a clay and some sand. So this is sand. This is a sand tile. What I would like to say is a mineable sand. And that is a scrap, which is also harvestable. From the ocean flotsam, from the barrels, but they are harvested in very minimal amounts if you do it this way. It's easier to get those from islands. Anyways. So I need to be a little bit careful. So here, this one is clay, which is going to be more needed for later. But for now, we are going to get some sand and clay if possible, which I will talk about why I would like to get some of this sand and clay, which is going to be quite needed. And this is metal that we currently don't have. We currently don't have any reasonably useful uh, metal ore at the moment until we get to a key technology that I hope to get to in this part. But first, I need to be able to mine some of these sand and clay in order to do that. We also need to mine some scrap, which is going to be quite needed. So there are some consumable food resources that I can potentially use to help me with the hunger and the thirst. Which this is a coconut, which is obtained from the palm trees, which also potentially gives you palm seeds. Eating that will increase a bit of your thirst and hunger, which I would like to leave the bars relatively low now. So now it's also a little bit late. I can't make a bed, but I don't think I need to really worry about nighttime. But I can't really see clearly at nighttime, so this may be a problem. I suppose it would be a more beneficial for me to actually leave this for now. But there's one important thing that I need to sand and clay for, which is the wet brick, and this will be more important when you dry them. But I will leave this for now, as I don't want to use too much of the inventory space. Yes, I know you can like anchor your raft, but it's quite expensive in this early game option, as you have a throwable anchor. This is a one-time use anchor, and those are relatively expensive to the cost in the early game. What you need for rope, full rope is actually quite expensive early game, so I don't like that. So we will leave that for now. At the current moment, I would like to get some. I would like to leave some resources. I would like to get some resources before I actually try my best to get the resources. Here, I will take the pineapple, which is going to be useful for me to hold a little bit longer. And yes, I would like to push my my progress as far as possible for this part. But obviously, it's going to be taking quite a bit while before that comes into a possibility. I would like to get to a park on that island as well to get some potential resources. Island resources. These islands can potentially give you food, which can be useful. Some food resources which can be useful in the early game. That you can get your hunger satisfied, your thirst a little bit satisfied. Now, I am on this island, so we're going to take some more island resources. I hope the raft doesn't drift away while I'm doing some work on this island. But I am also capable of getting some resources from chopping these trees, like some palm leaves. I can get some food resources here, which is always nice. I can also take some pineapples. Very nice. Since I can't really see, so well, a little bit of shimmering in from the movement. I am capable of doing some little bit of glimpse, but I can't do much about this. The shock is still. And so it appears that the shark is there for a bit, but it's probably about to attack, so. Yes, it's almost daytime. But there's one thing I can also do, which is the research table. This is a table that you can put things on to get some like technologies unlocked with some really useful stuff. If you wish to, that is. We're also going to unlock some other tags with especially the nail. The nail is really a key for this thing. as unlocking the nail unlocks you some relatively useful thing. So here is the goal, is our goal for this part. It's going to be unlocking the smelter, which is going to be needing dry bricks. And we will need 7 dry bricks in total. So we will need to dry off 7 dry bricks, and I am almost starving, so gotta get this addressed before it gets a little too late. Now, I would like to get some, and we're also going to need some scrap, so scrap for the smelter. So we better be, I must be well ready. To get this set up. Maybe I should consider taking down the shop now. So here is how I'm going to actually take down the shock. Is that you will need 1.5 wooden spears for these. First, this is the first thing to mention, that you need that many spears. So we're also going to pick up this giant clam. I can take a few hits, but that's it. I can't take too much of it, because if I take too much of it, it's going to be ending up miserably. Yeah, so we can research the giant clam, which allows us to unlock the bird's nest, which isn't so useful now, but this can get to its use when I plan to get feathers, so. So it's a little bit of a sneaky mission at the current period that we need to try to be able to mine some sand and clay and scrap without being without being torn down by the shock. So we need 14 sand and clay for the amount needed for the web bricks needed for the smelter, including researching the web brick. Also dry bricks to dry it. So I guess it's time to actually take down the shark, because if I don't take down the shark, I'm most likely going to be taken down instead. So there are a few ways to go around this shark, one of which is shark bait, which needs you to actually do some fishing. I currently don't have enough ropes for fishing yet, so that's all of the options. That's another third option. I could take things a little bit extreme, because sharks in the early game seems to be a bit more aggressive. That some of the techniques wouldn't really work. So I would like to get to unlock the smelter right away, so I don't have to mess around with this thing. So to take down the shark, that you have to time it. You have to time it. That you have to watch it very carefully. That you want to use your that you want to use your spear at the moment that it opens its mouth. And it takes 30 hits in normal difficulty to take down the sharks, so expect a little bit long battle. It should be almost down, but it's still a while before that happens, so. Okay, now it's down. So the first thing is I would like to pick up the moons first. So it will drop 4 meat, and then it will also drop a head, which I will plan to pick up later. But first, I want to get these resources, which is bountiful here. I would like to get these resources. I also think I'm going to break another hook very soon. So. I should also eat something, because if I am low in either hunger or thirst, I actually have less breathing time. So definitely not the greatest for sure. I have 14 sand, which I should stop mining sand. I'm also going to take some of these seaweeds, which can be useful later. And I would like to also mine some of these metal for now. I currently don't need to mine copper. I will leave copper later. So the copper is this orange-ish rock that is going to be useful when we start to get into deeper part of this game, which involves electricity, which is going to require copper. Well, now we could just leave those one as it is and do some mining session, do some very brief mining session which will allow us to get access to more useful technologies very soon. So the shark will despawn by itself a few minutes late after its death. And the moment that I fully pick up that a timer is going to count down, which is about 3 minutes. But in this 3 golden minutes, that you have your chance to get out of the water and then land on into a safe section, a safe area, or the shark is going to respawn, and then it's going to fight. You will have to fight it again to get more grace periods in the water. That the seaweeds are instantly collected, so definitely worth collecting those if possible, because you can just get those seaweeds without having to take some of your time to actually mine those. So I also got enough amount of clay I want to get. I would like to get some more scrap before I actually leave. I would like to get that as well. So I assume the shark is about to spawn very soon. But I should be able to handle a hit or two. Or actually 3 hits, but... And I should also take this one final mango because I kinda lack inventory space. And I have a little a bit too much crap. Okay, I think I should leave. Let me end up with, and let me end this with this little more. And I'm about to drown, so let's get it. Alright, so that is that, and it's about time to leave. I would have assumed that I should leave, so. That's the very beginning of this entire game session, and that isn't normal for sure. I wouldn't assume that this is a normal behavior. Anyways, so I got some stuff, but I am also on huge demand of resources because I am most likely going to dial the inventory space soon. So let's see, a small storage which needs rope, which I do have rope, so let's do some. I will also like to do some expansion, Anyway, so let me make another plastic hook. I still need to do some hooking for sure. And I am also hungry again. That's good. I'm gonna take that eating watermelon. Anyways, so I would like to put the seeds now. And stone. I also need stone for sure, and these things as well. I would like to keep this valuable resource for now, because if the sharks actually eat my... I need plastic. So... I still have my spear, which is nice, but I would like to have some emergency calls for sake. I would like to have a paddle to me again. Anyways, so I have managed to hold for a while, but I was able to get some. I was able to get some resources that I going to need in the near future. For now, though, that we are kinda lack of resources that I can't really expand without plastic, and I actually don't have much of the resources. But I was able to get most out of the island needs, and here is one of the special blueprints. This is an antenna, and then there is going to be another that I will talk about. I will talk about those things, presumably in the next part, because those will be the key to progress in this game. Well, the real key to actually progress in this game, and I'm actually starving, so... I would like to keep the bar low, as in this game there is a craving system, that the hungrier you are, or the thirstier you are, that the effect of the food items will be stronger, that you gain more, you replenish more hunger. If you are hungrier than like in most cases. So I would like to keep the bar as low to the threshold bar that I consider low, and will have that blurry effect, will have that special effect, which I get slowed down, cannot sprint, and that kind of thing. And for that, I would like to take the time with the watermelon for this then. Anyways, so the next thing is I would like to expand my raft by a little bit, so I get a little bit more personal space. But yeah, these plastic bottles are not easy to get, especially in this weather region where your fishing can be affected. Which is annoying, but we have to get I have to get used to it because that's what happens in the very early game. That you can only collect those by yourself. I am getting really hungry, so oh dear. Well, that's life. Life is difficult, especially in the very early game. This proven to be a little bit challenging for early game. Alright, so I think it's time to do some more research in table. Now we're going to research clay, which allows us to get the clay bowl, which isn't too useful now, but here we can finally craft some wet bricks, which we have to dry them. So you place them on the raft for little few minutes, and then you will be able to get your dry bricks. But you need to make sure the shark doesn't attack those tiles placing with those clay. And don't attack those foundations with the bricks. And I don't think I'm capable of doing anything with this wave. With this current situation, so I would like to get this place for now. And my hook is almost died again. And I've been trying my best. Now it's still a bit distance from me to actually do anything reasonable. Plastic for sure, and barrel for sure. I definitely want to get some regular of those resources if possible, because those are not easy to come by. Now I am feeling the need for eating some of the potatoes and the meat if I am getting hungry enough. It isn't recommended to eating raw, but I would like to get the more useful tech before actually leaving that. But to do that, I need to dry the bricks first. So it's going to be a little bit annoying because I can't do anything with that kind of tech. Because I would like to skip some of the buildings as part of a challenge for my subsequent playthrough, such as this one, and the storm just stopped. Doesn't help me too much though, because I can still hardly see things. So. And yes, you use the hoods to mine the resources. And I don't think I will be able to get those. And oh dear, that's not good. Alright. It appears that there is another island. I would like to get to an island because, some island resources can be useful. So. And I also have a paddle, which. You know what I should also consider? A sail. I should also consider using a sail, which I do have the capability to get to. And you did see this. I will talk about this later, but first let's just get to a sail that we can change our direction. And we can also craft a streamer, which allows us to see the direction of the current. Allows me to be able to, take some basic navigation capabilities. Will be very nicely appreciated. So, and it's about to attack again. And thank you very much. No need for that. And I was able to get the barrel. Very nice. Anyway, so. Yes, it's very obvious that there is something with this build. For now, we are going to progress through this way. And I would like to upgrade this first 4 tiles to the solid version. They look nicer, they don't give any static bonuses, like they are not harder than the normal foundations, but I will be able to mark those for as the central blocks, as those will be very important. As marking those as central blocks will be quite needed later. But I was able to go over the currents now, so I am a little bit better with the capability from the currents. So. Anyways, I'm going to get some food here, and I'm leaving this island, because I don't want to stay on this island for too long. Because staying on too long, I don't get much of the benefits. And we got the dry bricks. I would like to eat out this coconut first. I did give myself a little bit trouble for the bad reason, but it doesn't really matter now. So I can open this decoration. So this is a decoration package which can count from some loot boxes. Some of the loot boxes are going to give you these. So for example, that you're going to get some decoration stuff, like this string lights, which doesn't give it much of a actual benefits at the moment. Well, it's not going to give any beneficial effects. But I do have some capability to light, for example, light up the places in this decoration. If I say that in this decoration tab, that some things are going to be relatively useful. So like this calendar, which allows you to mark the day that you have survived, which is basically how many days you actually have played through this whole thing. would like to push it because I would like to get some food. Because I don't get the food. I don't get advantage over food without these beneficial stuff. So I definitely want to get these food resources. Also. Anyways, now I am capable of researching this, which is going to allow me to craft the one key building. Oh, anyways, so now I am capable of building the one key building that I'm going to actually have for this. The one key item that I would like to get. The one key item building that I would like to get, which is the smelter. So this is a smelter, so it's going to be quite a bit costly in planks. So you, for example, put a metal ore on this thing, and then you can smelt this metal ore, and it's going to end up in the form as a metal ingot. And this metal, then the metal ingot is going to allow us to really research some other things. Then, oh my god, I failed again. Alright, this is not getting as nicely appreciated as I would wish this to be. As I keep falling, and it's not good, because keep falling means that I'm the person being vulnerable to shock attacks. Some of the texts are not directly unlocked from metal ingots. It's from the derived materials that you can make from metal ingots. Oh, I just wait a minute, this counts. Now, due to the fact that I'm extremely short on plastic, I would like to get some plastic, because if I don't mind, I don't get the plastic, I'm going to have some issues, and I need to cook right now. I need to eat now. I definitely want to cook, because if I am capable of cooking, then I will be able to, or like, have some brew capabilities. So now there's a list of things I would like to get to. So, did you see what I said? Now we have the capability to actually research the advanced grid. I don't even have a simple grid, or the basic grid. The advanced grid. Now we have the capability to actually get the advanced grid. So the advanced grid is going to allow us to but it needs two metal ingots, so I'm going to smell a little more of this before I actually have the capability to smell such things like this. But yeah, I don't think I actually need to worry about collecting those. With the door, just collect by hand. And I am getting hungry yet again. I don't have much of the time left, to be honest, because the time is key and it's golden. If I keep wasting time, I'm going to really die by hunger. That's not so great. I was able to get to this house. So I'm going to smell our second, the second ingredient, which then can be used to do some things. Anyway, so we are parking on this island, and I feel like I could potentially finish this puzzle. It's about to attack, and I'm going to make sure because yes, I would have expected the spear to break when I try to find it. So. Anyway, so now we are parked here. Let's take some things to eat. I should take the watermelon. I want it. Else. Exactly, there's also pineapple. It broke. Now I should be able to make the advanced grill. I need rope for sure. I also need nails. Alright, here is the advanced grill. I don't know how many places. It's a little bit tricky. I guess we'll place it here. Alright. So what I can do with this advanced grill is I can cook 3 pieces of food. Well, the simple one is going to only allows you to cook 1 piece of food. And when you start fishing, you potentially have a chance to fish on the big fish, the catfish and salmon, which you will need the large, will need this large grill to actually be able to fish these, cook this fish to gain quite a bit of boost on those. For now, I'm going to cook some more metal. I'm going to smell some more metal. It's nighttime. I can barely see anything, but at the current moment, I'm feeling perfectly fine at the current period. Now we are going to have some shark meat available, which can help us the hunger. So I would like to mine some extra sand afterwards. But there's one thing that I would have to do, which is to actually make a bed. Because sleep is going to be useful for me to skip into daytime. And then immediate hunger, which allows me to take a bit of this shock, allowing me to have a significant boost on these. And I can also cook some other things with this raw potato and the small meat. And then I can get some cooking going for the brilliant one. For the nice bonus. For that nice hunger replenishment. I was able to get some hunger going. the seaweeds. I will leave this cooked meal for now. Let's do some research, basic researches. So that we have the capability to make something like a boat. So when we unlock boats, we unlock a lot of things like this metal fishing rod, shovel, large crop plot, metal axe, scrub hook, the net launcher, which is not useful for not really useful now, as you will need another key item for this to be useful. Or like you will need to actually get another thing to make it useful. That will require us to go to large tropical islands and actually have a boat. Make it easy. Yeah, so the other thing that I can make is the hinge, and this allows me to make shears, which is also not really useful now. We can also make a stationary anchor. We can also make a storage. Very nice things. Very nice things. And once you have metal or metal ingots, you can also do some foundation armor, which protects the foundations from shock attacks. And this will be very useful later. And this will be extra useful for the fact that I will be heavily using those. But first thing that I want to do is to take down the shock again, as I'm probably going to get some mining going. And I would like to unlock a storage. I would like to get to a big storage due to the fact that I will really appreciate a storage. So it's going to be requiring hinge, which I can make thanks to the fact that I just got this metal ingot. Alright, now we can make the storage. So the storage is a lot bigger, so we can store things in for real this time. But then the small storage is really cool. If you only need that little bit of storage, then you potentially could just do that. But we definitely not that kind of person with small storages. And I don't like shock hits on me because it kind of obscures some part of my vision, so it's not the greatest for that. Now I want to make a new weapon after this, but I probably should stop attack it now, because if I break it and then if the shock attacks, then I don't have a chance to fight back. Anyway, so there's a new weapon available, which is the metal spear. The metal spear will allow us to also show resource stone. I don't think stone's there. Well, stone is here, and I show some resource stone, because once we resource stone, we can get something like paint mill and also unlock stone items. Anything I would like to get? Glass, yeah. I would like to get glass next. So glass is smelted from sand, but I currently would like to smelt some metal ingots before actually doing that. I will need to smelt a little bit of glass, sand for glass, for another useful thing that I can settle for. And the next is going to be fine goo, which is also very useful. So I'm waiting for the second piece of metal to be finished. It takes really long. It takes 80 seconds, I think. So And it's about to attack. Well, I think I'm actually going to have the shark defeated before before it can actually bite me. I don't know where it is. It's there. Okay, so I think the spear will break at the same time. So, alright. And it definitely is like meat, for sure. So this is a large area with a lot of resources, for sure. For sure. I definitely taking these because, oh my god, there's a lot on this island. I would like to take some metal ore. I would like to make a new hook, actually. So let me make a new hook. Which I should be able to make, but I don't know if I have enough scrap. No. But I can make it. I can make it work. The first thing is I can make once I got some scrap. So I'm getting the scrap. No. And then I can easily mine out these resources. Alright, now I can make a scrapbook, and it gets significantly faster after you actually upgrade this to a scrapbook, so definitely a worthwhile upgrade for this. It's simply just worth getting. It's so nice to actually have this have the capability to get this to actually mine resources at a really nice, really fast rate like this. Anyways, I would like to get some sand. I only plan for 5 pieces of sand for now. I don't plan for any additional pieces. Now, I would like to mine some metal and scrap because I also get some seaweed, which is going to be useful later. Because I would like to reinforce the whole section later. I need to reinforce my run, which is going to require some metal and scrap for sure. Metal is going to be needed for quite a bit at this period, because you'll finally get some useful upgrades, which like a faster hook. A hook that mines a lot faster than the ordinary plastic hook you start with, and the speed is just that's significant. That speed upgrade is just that significant that you cannot just ignore that this kind of speed upgrade is really like this. And I think the corpse despawned. Hasn't yet, but I think that when I get there, they probably will despawn. I would like to get the head, which can be useful later. This place also has quite a bit of seaweed, which I definitely want to get, because getting this seaweed, then I can smelt those into fine gold, which is an item I will talk about later. But those will be really needed for some like diving equipment and a bottle, which will be useful in 2 ways, which is making the diving equipment as part of it. Do I need stone? Not necessarily, for sure. I don't think I need stone, but I need for it. Alright. Almost all the semester. And I think I should leave because I could just leave now. But I would like to get this metal ore as well. Because I would have mentioned that the metal is actually quite important. I just going to ignore copper for now because copper isn't so demanding at the moment, so I could just ignore that. And it appears that my RAFT has left. It has left me. Well, there's an easy way to fix this problem. For that though, I would like to get some more resources then. So now the RAFT has left us behind. There's a way to fix this. So I will stay in the water for about half a minute, which is 30 seconds. So I did get some resources that I would like to get. After about 30 seconds, then you press the escape and enter this pause menu. Then there's going to be a button called unstuck, and then it's going to be asking you if you want to teleport to a safe location. While in the water, using unstuck will teleport you back to the raft. So yeah, that's basically fixed the problem. Well, I think I will end up next with this. So it appears there's another island. I'm just going to leave this one now. Also because there's not so following the current, so I can't get resources. But yeah. Anyways, the shark is about to. I don't know how. I don't know when the shark will attack, but. I do gain some capabilities for basic stuff. Like, yes, very basic stuff. I got some resources that is very nicely appreciated. Flotsam is coming. I am getting really thirsty. The only fruit that I have on me that will give me uh, the hydration I need is this watermelon, which is half eaten, and this coconut, which we are really running out of the things that we're actually going to need. And if I'm going to make a boat, then I am on preparation for a weapon upgrade. It has to be. It's quite needed. I hope I can get this in time though, because if I can't, then I am going to lose a tile. Maybe I'll just sleep. That will do it. Yes. So now we'll be able to make a new weapon. This is a metal spear. It does double the damage of than our very good old wooden spear, which I would like to use. I would like to use the plastic hook for the collection, and then use the scrap hook for mining. Because scrap hook is actually not so easy to come by in plastic one. It's a lot more difficult actually. So I would like to use the plastic hook for these parts. Now we can smelt some sand. Yes. So that's pretty much for this part of RAFT. So if you want to follow this series, consider subscribing and turn off the notifications, and I will see you in the next part. Thanks for watching.